what's it? I don't know if wood's the right word. Short of something off of 2021 going into 2022, but hopefully it all ends on a good note and starts on an even better note in 2022. But I'm excited to be here, Chuma. Always fantastic being alongside you for any broadcast. And just for the records...
My head is swelling, yeah.
Just for the records, I was telling Ufoma himself when he dropped that message in the group, like, okay, let's make it clear. You sound like me and I don't sound like you. So if anyone was to clone anybody's voice, you cloned mine. You know, this is the original and he's the copy, if I can. But I say that respectfully, boss. I beg. I say that.
There's always this discussion around, the egg and the fowl, in quotes, or the chicken, as the case is, which actually came first. And it's an argument that will never end, because some people say, hey, if it's the egg that came first, who laid the egg, or what laid the egg? If it's the chicken that came first, then how did the chicken come? So in your own case, we're going to be arguing as to who has the voice, who's the patent right holder. But I think that in your case, they're going to say the first person that came to planet Earth between the two of you is the original owner. And last time I checked, now that guy came before you.
I'm confused because I was even saying the same thing to him. Hearing myself speak now, I'm thinking this is not the way Ufoma sounds.
Honestly, to me, this is not
it's not the way it sounds.
I don't know why those. Maybe I need to keep listening to you, especially your commentary voice, maybe.
Yeah, that's the explanation he gave me. Like when we're having a conversation, I certainly don't sound like that. But on air, that's where the similarities.
Yeah, because we all have commentary voices, really. Because with the commentary, you have to add some extra excitement and increase the pitch of your voice. And that's the pitch we enjoy from this guy when we're discussing in the newsroom. But the pitch can be bleach inside the studio. David Okwara joins us tonight. David, good to see you. Good evening.
Why are you guys always taking shots at me like this? I'm not the one. It's the honest truth. Look at it's the honest truth. Good evening, Lagos. Beautiful to be here. Chuma, you look toned.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Maybe because I've been indoors all day. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe something looks different about you.
My hair.
I think it's the hair.
My hair. Yeah, I took my hair off. So
why did you do that? It's a travesty.
Let breeze touch my head. It's been a while.
You look like you're in a birthday suit for me.
Serious. Younger, older, which one? I know I look younger, actually. Which is?
I don't know if it's younger. It feels, when your hair becomes a feature of you, it's almost like a cloth. So when it's taken off, you seem like
That's what happened to you when your hair is taken off. I'm not thinking about you. I'm thinking about your life. What you look like.
I'm actually thinking of doing that. I don't know what to do with the hair. Probably plait it or something.
You could hang out with your man Brownish. He's the one who keeps.
I'm not going to hang out with that guy. He's not even. He never keeps any hairstyle for 2 days.
Okay, that's the swag, isn't it?
It's not swag. It's confusion.
Oh, okay.
General misdirection in life.
I don't know if that's the case for this side, Chelsea. Sam may just have to explain to us. But for the high heights of Chelsea, for their success story of last season when they went on to win the UEFA Champions League title, for the brilliance being exuded by the side at the beginning of this campaign, it looks like all of a sudden things are crumbling by the standards they've set for themselves. Thomas Tuchel was seen as the best thing after sliced bread, and in the eyes of so many people should have been the best coach in the world sometime in June, July. Yeah. However, things have changed now because Chelsea are stuttering and are dropping points, 1 point too many as the reality is for them. The latest was a 1-1 draw against Brighton and Hove Albion last night. Lukaku had given the Blues the opening advantage in the 28th minute of the game, but when it looked like Chelsea were going to run away with a slim 1-0 scoreline, the man who had played for Arsenal in the past, Chelsea's London rivals, Danny Welbeck, stepped forward for Brighton to make their evening bright, scoring in the first minute of added time to ensure that game had to have a split result. Even Stevens, as they love to call it. Chelsea won, Brighton and Hove Albion won. What that means is that there was a chance for Manchester City to extend their lead even further on top of the standings. And that will be our first major talking points as the case is. By the way, always feel free to have your say on the broadcast. You can drop your comments via WhatsApp, and there's the phone lines that will be buzzing to you as we progress. Yeah, this side were champions of England last season. Can they do it again this time? Well.
But it was a haunting season. But the show went on. Football's sunshine did break through the clouds. in a context without precedent. Despite it all, through it all, the champions of 2021 are Manchester City.
So last season they did it. Manchester City conquering England and winning the title. And guess who led them to that success? A certain Pep Guardiola, who was doing it again and again. Well, Man City are clearer now in the race for the title this season, halfway into this campaign. They got a goal from Phil Foden to run out winners 1-0 against Brentford away from home. That goal coming in as early as the 16th minute of the game. And fans of that side will be shouting right now, City, City. The anthem says, Man City, City, best team in the world. I'm not too certain about that part, though, but one thing is sure, they have been the best team in England for the last decade or so. Well, they currently do have 50 points from 20 matches, 8 better than Chelsea, who have 42 from the same number of fixtures. Liverpool are currently third best on the log. They have 41 points and have played a game less than Man City and Chelsea. Arsenal, fourth place, 35 points from 19 matches in their own right still. Now, the discussion and debate will not be on whether they're going to win the title. It's still early days as far as I'm concerned. I know on social media people are already saying, hey, Man City will win the title, but come on, man. We still do have as many as 19 games to be played by some of their rivals for this season, and things can change, man. Things have really changed. We've seen that happen in football in the past. But I am here to talk about the man who's the manager of this Manchester City side, and if we give him enough respect for all of his quality. I heard things like this. Pep Guardiola will not come to England and dominate. He's doing what he's doing because it's the Bundesliga. Bayern are champions of the Bundesliga any day, anytime, whether it's Pep Guardiola or not. When he won 3 successive Bundesliga titles with Bayern, took them to the semi-final stage of the Champions League 3 times in a row, people said, hey, he could not win it with Bayern. He could not win the Champions League. Shame on to this guy. He's a very crazy manager. He only spends money to achieve successes. And, well, any manager can win the Bundesliga title with Bayern, so no problem. He did all he did with Barcelona, led them to win the treble at the point they won, 5-6 titles in a calendar year. And they said he only did it because he had Iniesta, Messi and Xavi. He cannot do it since he left all of those guys. He has not been able to win the Champions League again. All of these things he's doing, he cannot do it in England, the most competitive league in the world. Hey, he cannot come and humble guys in England. What's happening right now? This guy came to England and hit the benchmark of points in a single Premier League season. He's done it. He's humbled all of the so-called high-profile teams in England. He has humbled all of them in his 5 or 6 seasons at the Manchester City setup. And just when we thought we're going to have one of the most competitive seasons ever in the history of the Premier League since 1992, see where we are now. It was a season that saw Manchester United spend money to buy Rafael Varane. They got, of course, the quality also of Cristiano Ronaldo. You could take away the spending money part, but they got all of these guys into the Manchester United setup, and it felt like United are a complete squad now. We have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Finally, we're going to compete. He was third the other time. He was second last season. He's going to go on to win the title this season. United are one of the favourites for the title for sure. Chelsea had a certain Thomas Tuchel. Started this season as champions of Europe. My God, Tuchel is the best thing. He's going to show this guy. He has beaten Pep Guardiola in the Champions League final. He also beat him in the league. He's going to show Guardiola that he knows more than Guardiola. He's the baddest guy ever lived. Where are we right now? Jurgen Klopp, he's the one manager that can never flop. We've seen what he did 2 seasons back. He was Premier League champion. They won the Champions League in 2018. Where are we now? Guys, are we guilty of disrespecting Pep Guardiola for all of his achievements, Samuel?
I think there are two sides to this conversation. At the start, when he came into England, it's only natural that there's reservations as to his abilities coming into a league where it's perceived as the toughest and the most feistiest. Is feistiest even a word? most feisty of all leagues, really. We can understand, or I at the very least can understand why there was reservations as to his abilities. But the truth is, we may have, on this particular reason, undermined the fact that he's a manager who's smart, who has the eye for talent, and who has the ability to, nurture talents to come through to play in a system where he wants them to play. I'm going to be bold and say what buttresses the notion as to disrespect on the part of Pep Guardiola is the fact that if he hadn't spent all of the money, I know people would disagree with this, if he hadn't spent all of the money he'd spent at Manchester City, I'm going to stick with City and not go as far as Bayern, yes, he wouldn't have achieved as much as he has now looking back. Because the truth is, in the league as the Premier League, you have 5-6 contenders at the start of every season at the very least. And these people have as much purchasing power as the other teams have. Chelsea can afford to spend £95 million on one striker in Romelu Lukaku, and even Manchester City themselves are matching that up with £100 million for Jack Grealish. Liverpool are spending equal amount to sign Virgil van Dijk for 60-70 million. They are signing Alisson Becker. Chelsea is signing Edouard Mendy. So that's the reason why you think, if Liverpool and Chelsea have bought all of these players, and Man City have the Van Son companies that they have the Carlos Teveses at the time, and those sort of players, will they have been able to compete? Absolutely not. That's where the credit goes to Pep Guardiola. The fact that he's come in and he's identified talent and players that, one, fit into a system, and secondly, which is very important, these guys are absolutely brilliant players. Ferran Torres may have cost 25 million pounds and all that, but he's great quality. You look at Raheem Sterling, bought for 50 million pounds from Liverpool. That's also another expensive signing. You look at Ederson Moraes. He's done this consistently, and that's why
he wasn't the one who signed Raheem Sterling.
I'm talking about, maybe not
neither
him.
Did he sign Kevin De Bruyne.
I'm talking about he may not have signed those players, but he signed players in that same category. Ederson and the goalkeeper for today, the one signed Ederson Moraes, that's his name. He signed him only after signing a previous goalkeeper from Barcelona, and then sold him
for free.
So we are talking about him being able, or coming to a league and spending and realizing, I don't have the Barcelona setup. I don't have the Messi. I don't have the Xavi. As disrespectful as that may sound, but he's realized it and said, I don't have those guys. What do I do to get myself relevant? Spend the money. And the good thing about it is City have the money. It doesn't take away the quality of his... it's one thing to spend the money. It's another thing to be able to put together that team into a unit to win. So I think at the start of it, looking back now, yes, it's understandable why the disrespect was there. But him coming in and all he's done, I think he's done it again. For one, all the credit he deserves for the ability he has.
This is what I'm going to do, actually, because we have a commercial break that will last for a few minutes. Sam will conclude his thoughts after this commercial break. David will speak, and you will also speak to us too, right here on Game On. Stay with us. that time there were a few games to being crowned English champions, something they achieved. They got to the Champions League final, losing to Chelsea in that grand finale. That's how good a last season he had with the Man City setup, and he wants to take that success to even higher pedestals. Well, he's conquered everybody in England, or hasn't he? For all of the noise about the Premier League being the most competitive and not one that will allow Guardiola dominate, he became a Man City manager in 2016, signing an initial 3-year contract. He's gone on to extend that since then and has been with that side for the last 5 years also now. Pep Guardiola taking over from Manuel Pellegrini. Now, this is what the Premier League table has looked like since Guardiola joined the Man City setup. Well, in 2018, it was 2017-2018 season, Man City emerging as champions of England. Guardiola amassed 100 points with the Man City side. Some historic feat, that one. The second place team for that season were Manchester United. They had just 81 points. That was what? 19 points behind Manchester City, who were champions. The third place team, Tottenham, had 77 points. That's a whooping 23 points behind the champions of a league that was expected not to allow Pep Guardiola dominating it. Moving on to the next season, 2018-2019 season, Liverpool were champions, and Liverpool responded with Jurgen Klopp proving that Guardiola is not God, in quote. Small G, I mean, this time around. 99 points Liverpool got that season. They finished a whooping 18 points better than Guardiola's Man City. However, Man City, who were second that season, were as much as 15 points ahead of Manchester United, who were third. So it was 33 points between Liverpool and third place Manchester United, and 15 points between second place Man City and the United side, who were third for that season. This is a league that was not supposed to be dominated by one person, right? Moving on now to the 2020-2021 season. It was back to the conversation around Pep Guardiola one more time, and he led Man City to emerge as champions. They got 86 points. They finished 12 points better than Manchester United, who had 74 in second place. And there was Liverpool, who had 69 points. So Man City were a whooping 17 points better than Liverpool, who were third, and as much as 12 points ahead of Manchester United, who finished second best. So I'm asking you on the show for tonight, on the first part of our conversation, before we progress with more for you on Game On with Femi and the Gang on Nigeria Info. Are we guilty of disrespecting Pep Guardiola for all of his achievements? Because every time it looks like people have a condescending approach towards his success story. They will either tell you that he used money to achieve all he has achieved, or that what he achieved before was because of Messi and Iniesta, or that he did what he did in the Bundesliga because everybody can win the league in the Bundesliga with Bayern, but that he cannot do it in England. And now he has come to do it in England. They are saying he's doing it because of money. Like the other teams in England don't have money, right? Samuel was saying something just about to wrap up before David has his say, and we go to the phone lines to have you speak to us too. My name is Chuma Noli. There's David Okwara in here, and Samuel Victor Akpan, and there's you too. So your comments matter so much for us. Please go back to WhatsApp. Tell us what's up. We'll read out those ones, and then we'll ensure that you have your say via the buzzing phone lines in just a matter of minutes. Welcome back, guys. Sam, so you were trying to just wrap up on why you thought it was understandable that people had a bit of, negative feelings towards the successes of Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, certainly, Chuma. And I think the biggest of those reasons I was trying to give was the fact that nobody thought City will be in a position, or Pep will be willing to spend as much as the other title contenders will do. And he's had to do that for understandable reasons. I mean, this is a very, very difficult league. But I think what, again, quells that notion is the fact that, going by dint of the stats you mentioned, the way and manner in which he's won the league, the points differential between himself, the winner, that's City, and the second best place team is always very, very massive. But every time, or the 1-2 times he's lost the league, it's been very, very close. Just the 1 point difference, just the 2 point difference. So you could tell, it tells you the fact that it's not just about the money. It's the way he's created that system most times, which I do think is the case. He's a fantastic manager. You can't take that away from him. His ability to build a team that can stay competitive season on season is absolutely massive. So I understand why people say that at the start. I'm looking back now, but I think in all 5-6 years at Manchester City, it's less about the money and more about the man and the genius that is Pep Guardiola.
All right, David is going to be having his say on this one as I add one more season to that. His first ever season in the Premier League, Guardiola was demystified by the quality of Chelsea, who were champions that term. 2016-2017, Chelsea won the title with 93 points. Tottenham were second best that term. They had 86 points, and Man City were third with 78 points. If my mathematics will not fail me now, it means that Chelsea were as much as 15 points better than Manchester City that season. So 5 seasons in the Premier League for Pep Guardiola. 3 times he's been champion. Once Liverpool have won the title. Once Chelsea have been crowned winners of the season. And the closest race between himself and any rival at any stage when he's won the season was a season where he finished with 98 points.
Yeah.
And Liverpool were on 97 points that very season. Liverpool finishing second best that term. David, it's back to that same question as we get ready to hear from the listener. Are we guilty of disrespecting this man's successes?
Very much so. I think too many times we always try to qualify the success that he has and says, oh, he spent money. He in many cases he didn't spend money. It's not his money. He gives specifications, and the guys who are in charge, the sporting directors, take care of it. That said, how much City was able to spend in his 5 or so years in charge is not a matter of his doing. It's a function of the market. He became City coach in 2016. The next year, Neymar moved to Barcelona, and that move to PSG rather from Barcelona, and that move automatically put the market on a serious. It was a serious boom. The price of players went up times 4. Bernardo Silva would have gone for say 30 million years before that, but the guy went for what 60 million and over. Riyad Mahrez was a drawn out transfer. It took 2 years. Eventually they got him for 60 million plus. Raheem Sterling came there before him. So did De Bruyne. He met David Silva on ground. He met Kun Aguero on ground. He signed Ederson, but not for a lot of money.
After spending money on the,
no, he signed Ederson but not for a lot of money.
Who failed.
If you check some of the pillars of his team, you'd find, well, away from Joao Cancelo, there's not a lot of big per se. Much of the investment has been shoring up the second options, right? Making sure that if one person falls off, there's always someone to replace him. Riyad Mahrez was that type of person. They had Leroy Sané when he was around. So I don't understand what this whole talk. It's not his fault that the market got inflated.
But how about arguments like he spent money on John Stones at the point he didn't click, he went for his.
Well, John Stones is working out now.
Yeah, but there was a period where he spent 50-50 on this one. I no go walk. He will now say, we have money, Sha.
He spent 50
again on somebody else.
He spent 50 million on Walker.
Yeah,
Walker turned out beautifully. He spent money on John Stones. The guy clicked for a while, then fell off. 2 seasons on, he's back on top now. He spent money on Aymeric Laporte. It's been a fine signing. City spend money, but unlike other teams, they don't just spend in vain. They spend where they need to. They make signings that will improve their squad. They make signings that will make sure that they don't end up at some point in the season and come on stock. I was saying this thing yesterday. Chelsea has been complaining, their coach has been complaining, they've been having injuries, COVID-19 has not been kind to them. You have money. What are you doing with your money? You're one of the few clubs in the past season or so who turned a profit. What are you doing with that money? Why don't you have options?
Okay.
You should have options. Why is it that, for instance, City rarely ever have a period where too many of their players are underperforming? It's because the manager has found a way to keep them all motivated at different points in time. When Walker has largely been on form since he came, he has never been second choice for any reason. But take someone like John Stones, for instance. When he wasn't clicking, they had an option in that space. They had I think at some point it was Vincent Kompany. Then that one moved on. Laporte.
There's been Mendy in left full back.
There was Otamendi. There was Otamendi at a point. Otamendi was let go last season, and then Aymeric Laporte became a thing. Aymeric Laporte got injured, and John Stones stepped up to the porch because he realized this is his opportunity. He had been away from that starting spot for a long time. It's not easy to keep players motivated, especially with the type of money they make.
Okay.
It's very, very difficult. I don't care what you're going to tell me. This guy is that one manager who has proved through his time in management since 2008. He's been in this game 13 years, and each team he has been to, he has improved a vast number of the squads he has been in charge of. You can look at every squad. He gave Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi their big break. He gave Carles Puyol a new lease of life. He had Piqué looking so good. We're calling him one of the best defenders in the world at 23 years of age. He moved to Bayern Munich, turned Philipp Lahm from a right back into a midfielder for much of a season. The guy didn't even know he had it in him. Became a deep line, playmaker, and he excelled in that role. Went to the 2014 World Cup. That good work showed in Germany winning the World Cup. Thomas Muller enjoyed under this guy.
Okay.
Iron Robben found a new lease of life. They couldn't win the Champions League for the sake of bad luck and the fact that there's a little Cristiano Ronaldo somewhere there. But you could see improvements all over the team.
All right.
Name it. Arturo Vidal.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski scored 5 goals in 9 minutes under this guy. The guy has Raheem Sterling is also one of his latest, success stories.
The people who have improved under him.
Let's
leave it to that for now, David. I basically wanted to get your thoughts, and you've hammered on the fact that you think this guy is being disrespected because he's done better than even critics always, want to belittle every time. He just finds a way to silence critics. You think? Let's go to the phone lines now and find out if we do have some of those critics who will make a case as to why Guardiola is not disrespected, why those who say he's not done well enough, why those who say he's a fraud deserve to say he's a fraud. Because there are people who use that line on this man on social media many times. You can dial 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. Also for our female callers, 01 465 7190. That's the number for you, 01 465 7190. Let's go over now to you. Having you have your say on Game On with Femi and the Gang. Chuma Nalin here, Samuel Victor Akban and David Okwara. By the way, we're counting down to you more of the fun that we bring to you, courtesy of 38 bars. I'll let you know where we are going to next for 38 bars for day 21 of the 38 bars experience for us. By the way, Leicester City striker Jamie Vardy is set to be out of action for as much as a month after he aggravated a hamstring injury in that 1-0 win over Liverpool on Monday night. So Leicester should be without Jamie Vardy for the next month, according to the stories from that setup. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, good evening to you.
How are you?
What's your name?
My name is Sam.
Fantastic, Sam.
Oh, I'm enjoying your program.
Thank you. We're enjoying hearing from you too. So.
Oh, okay. But Guardiola, he's a very good coach. But you are praising him to high heaven. Lewandowski has been good. He was good before he came, and he's still very good after he has left. It's not him that made him. All those players who are saying they are good players on their own. Okay. And besides, what we expect Guardiola to do in Man City is not to win the league, win the Champions League. He was in Bayern. They couldn't win the Champions League. He left and they won it.
Okay.
So what we expect is to convert that your excellence to win the Champions League for Man City.
All right.
Without that one, would you like praise him to high heavens?
Okay.
It's just like every other. Klopp has just won the Champions League. He has won the league in England. Man City has been winning the league even before he came. That is just their problem. Their problem is Champions League.
All right. Thank you for calling in. Good to hear from you. More thoughts to through the listener right now. Hi, welcome.
Hello, good evening, Chuma.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Samuel and.
Hi there, Friday. Good evening.
Yeah, this Friday from Egwele.
Okay.
See, Chuma, I always say this. We always disrespected Guardiola. In the past series, 4 seasons, Chuma, it's only Liverpool that stood in between them of not winning the league. Maybe by now, winning the league this season, it would have been 4 straight season winning the league. See, we are saying that because he has not won the league. When we are talking of the greatest coaches in England, the ever coach in England, we will mention after Ferguson, we will mention Wenger. Did Wenger win the league?
Champions League.
Another thing, Tuma, is that people still keep complaining that he's spending a lot of money. I remember a certain time when Chelsea signed a certain Morata for huge amount. The next season, they sold him. What are the most expensive goalkeeper now? Is he not sitting on the bench at Chelsea? If we say to be Guardiola now, people will be complaining. For me, any day, anytime, winning Champions League or not winning Champions League, Guardiola for me is the best coach. He's even better than my own coach because he's never satisfied.
So you think?
For club, we just need one trophy.
All right, just
next season is okay by him.
All right, just to wrap up, you think Guardiola is being disrespected? That's what you feel?
If there is any word that is bigger than that,
okay.
He's still disrespected.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Friday. Pleasure hearing from you. Hi. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
It's glaring you're in transit. Let's see if we can hear you one last time. Hi, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing? What's your name?
Okay, my name is Akin. I'm calling from Lagos, Bagada, Lagos.
Nice. Welcome to the show.
I just love this Pep Guardiola conversation.
There's so much noise on the background. Hold on. Yeah, there's so much noise. Like your emotion.
Yes, I'm emotion, but okay, just a minute.
All right.
Okay, I'll clear now.
All right.
But the only reason why Man City got in was to win the Champions League. They had Machini before him, he won the league. They had Bergini before him, he won the league.
Okay.
All the investment was solely for winning the Champions League. And the same reason why he went to Bayern Munich and he did not win the Champions League with Bayern Munich. It's just a coach that can try with a lot of money. That's the way I see it.
Okay. So how about
a coach that can try with a lot of money?
Okay. How about
guy on the studio there has made a lot of praise about him.
Okay.
If you go and look at Barcelona before he got the job in Barcelona, Frank Rijkaard, what's his name?
Rijkaard was the manager before him.
This Dutch guy. He has done a wonderful job to build a winning team with Ronaldo and all the rest. They have a winning mentality. Same thing happened in Real Madrid. When you have a coach that built a winning mentality in a team, the next coach will enjoy the win. Okay. He doesn't enjoy what Ancelotti and Mourinho built in Real Madrid.
Okay.
He's a coach that can try with money.
Okay.
That is my own submission. But I realize it's just like, if he can win, if he's really a good coach, let him win Champions League. It took him almost 5 years to get to semi-final of Champions League.
Okay,
he has won 2 Champions Leagues.
While you're still on the line, before you go,
he has won 2 Champions Leagues.
David, hold on.
In Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Just hang on. While you're still talking, before you go off, you say he's one that thrives with money, right?
Yes.
Which coach doesn't?
David, can you allow me talk, please? Which other teams in England, the Manchester United, the Liverpool and Chelsea, don't spend money? Don't they spend money? Don't they have money to spend too?
Spend money. What I'm saying
here. So why are they not winning the title too?
The praise that your colleague there is hitting on him in Premiership is because he has spent a lot of money. That was a match, I think, in one of the Champions League matches.
Okay.
What he started, the defense line he started is more expensive than the team is playing.
Okay.
How can you be buying 50 million pounds and you cannot win Champions League with it? So go and check the amount that Real Madrid spent on that team that won 3 treble.
Okay.
It's only Cristiano Ronaldo and Gary Bale that was so expensive there, and James Rodriguez. All of that, Casemiro. Go and check how much is Casemiro. Check how much is Cruz. How much is Modric. How much is Ramos from Sevilla. Check how much are they.
Okay.
They turned them to a winning team and they won 3 Champions League on the road. From Zidane, that people don't praise like him.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you for calling in. Good to hear from you. It's a debate that certainly always
Chuma,
triggers,
very quickly into 5 seconds.
Modric
I
cost
think
27
the
million.
conversation has to be the dominance in England.
Yeah, the talk is Pep Guardiola disrespect.
Wow. I mean,
and then I bring out these stats of dominating this Premier League where they claimed he can
people,
that's why we're having this conversation.
Chuma, I think,
so the question is he disrespected for all of his successes?
I don't
People
want
always seem
to
to have excuses every time he succeeds.
okay.
Yeah, that's why
I don't want to sound unnecessarily harsh, but you said Real Madrid. Real Madrid signed Bale for 100 million. Modric came in for 30 million.
Okay.
What I remember, Carvajal came back from Leverkusen. They paid 22 million to bring him back. Okay. They had a Rafael Varane who was signed on the behest of Zidane when he was still assistant manager. That guy came in for over 20 million. Benzema came alongside Ronaldo for a good sum of 20-something million. I think Kaka was still in the team at the time. He returned to AC Milan that season.
Okay.
Before they made so much investments.
Hold your comments. Let's go in for a commercial break that will take just about 3-4 minutes. And when we return from that, you wrap up with that, and we have a wrap up of this conversation because we have to read out comments on WhatsApp too. This is Game On with Femi The Gang. Is getting heated in the studio. Don't go anywhere.